we are pleased to announce a very special single mother. And the 2017 My Mom, My Hero recipient is Carol Graham, mother of Coach Todd Graham. This is the beautiful award that she's being honored with. And we're going to ask that Coach Graham come up here. Carol could not join us today. We are so thankful for your mother and for you as well. She is currently attending a family emergency, so he's accepting this. Coach Graham will be accepting this in her honor, and he's also going to share her story with us. The mic is yours. We're looking forward to learning about your incredible family.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What an incredible event. I've received a lot of different awards over the last 30 years of being a teacher and a coach, and this one today means more to me than all of them because I've got a champion in the mother that I have has just been incredible in my life. Her grandson's right over here, Brent Graham, and then Tim Casty's with our... One of the things that I wanted to do today, I wanted to accept this award on her behalf. Her sister's in ICU in Ramona, California, and so she would love to have been here. In all my years of being recognized for a lot of different things, my mother's never been recognized, and so today was very, very important for me. And it's something that I hope that this story will inspire some of the single moms that are out here, because without my mom, I would have accomplished absolutely nothing in life. And she, when I told her, I said, "What do you want me to say, Mom? What would you like for me to say to the people that are recognizing you?" And she said, all she wanted to do in her life was two things: it's serve the Lord and to be a great mom. So, on her behalf, I accept this award. And I want to share with you a little bit about my story. We grew up in southeast Dallas, pretty poor socioeconomic area. We used to, matter of fact, we were talking earlier that we got the food vouchers, and I really did not like that cereal that you got. And you would, if you complained about the food, you would, I wouldn't say get a beating, but close to it. I wanted to speak to the moms in this room, and now I'm a college football coach, and I get to go into homes and change lives by offering scholarships to young men. And over half the players on my football team have come from single families. And they all have something in common. They have a champion behind them. I mean, a pure champion. And my mom, we grew up in Dallas, and like I said, we didn't have a lot, didn't know that at the time. She raised 5 kids by herself. She had an 8th grade education. She had her first son when she was 15 years old. My dad left her with 5 kids. She didn't have a driver's license. She didn't have anything. And I can remember if you guys remember back in the 1980s, there was a heat wave, especially in the South, and we didn't have an air conditioning. And so we had some challenges. But my mom was a person that the first and foremost, what I would tell the moms, the one thing that my mom did for me, that from that moment, I could do nothing in my life but win, was she introduced me to Jesus Christ. And then she was an example, and she walked that walk that was so inspirational to me. I can remember as a young boy, we come from a very violent and abusive home, and she really protected us. I can remember the day that he left, and it was a great day. It was a great day. It was a tough day, but it was a great day because things started getting a lot better. And but my mom, I can remember, and I apologize, but it's I can remember as a little boy, I would crawl in there on in the floor, and she would hold my hand at night. And so I encourage moms to be strong that way. But what gave her strength was her faith in Christ. And so, we went through that, and it was something that was very difficult, but, we had a very loving family. My mom was a champion mom. She made sure that we were in the Word. The Word, she always talked about the Word being our sword. So she spoke the Word every day. We had a big white Bible that she would make us read from. I'm dyslexic, so so reading's not something that I really enjoyed when I was younger. If you guys, this just means I learned differently, is what that means. That doesn't mean anything. You parents out there, don't let anybody tell you your kids are learning disabled. They just learn differently. And my mom wasn't going to have any of that. So, but I did have to. She put the Word around us. She spoke victory. I still use that to this day. She spoke victory over me constantly. I was the littlest. There were 5 kids. I was the youngest of 4 boys, and then we had a younger sister. Me and my 3 brothers all were in a 12-foot by 12-foot room in one bed, which was an unbelievable blessing in my life. But I was the little one. I was the runt of the family, and she would always come up to me, and her words, moms, her words were so powerful. And she would whisper in my ear, "You're the smart one." and it really inspired me. Now, as I got older, my other 3 brothers said she said the same thing to them, and I was a little bit upset about that. But my mom was. I just remember. I think of. I speak in front of thousands of people. I've ran Division I programs in 5 different universities across the country. I got to play pro football. I was a 2-time All-American defensive back, and I got to do a lot of great things. But I was that little boy that would crawl in there on that floor and needed a mom, to inspire me. Needed a mom to give me tough love. I mean, my mom was tough. I guess, she served me just in every way that you could serve a person. She would pour into me. Obviously, she poured the Word into me. She would pour discipline into me, toughness into me. I remember when I first started playing, she worked 3 jobs, so she couldn't come to all my games. And I was very fast, and football and sports were very easy to me, and I loved them. But I would go to the games, and I'd figured out at the games that if you got hurt, then if you jumped up off the ground, then they would cheer for you. And so I became kind of a little bit of a prima donna. And my mom finally had come to one of my games because, she couldn't come because she had to work. And so I'd laid on the field and act like I was hurt. And I got up and ran off. Everybody cheered. And I see my mom. She's kind of walking down the stands there at this little 7th grade football stadium. And I'm thinking, oh, well, she's coming down here to check on me. And she walked over that fence and motioned for me to come over there. And she said, "Let me tell you something. You better not ever lay on that ground again. If you think you're hurt, you jump back up off the ground. If your leg's broke, you'll fall back down. But you better not ever lay on that ground again." So, as I tell you, somebody said, "Is my mom as sweet as her? Is your mom as sweet as she looks in those pictures?" I'm saying, I don't tell you now. I mean, it's not, that picture's a little deceiving. But I've never shared my story of my mom. And so, I wanted to really talk to the moms in this room about just how powerful her words were, but more importantly, just how powerful her walk was. And my mom, when my dad left, and I don't encourage this, but my mom never went on a date. Her kids were it. That was it, to this day. And but she instilled, and I grew up, in school, and they would come and say, no, Miss Graham, he needs to go into this, he needs to be in this class, he needs to be in that class. And she was adamant that I was going to get an education. And I'm the first person in the history of my family to graduate from college, in the history of my family. And if not for my mom, I remember my mom, I remember how many times that I just thought that, that would never happen. I remember being a sophomore in high school and working at a gas station. And I remember thinking, if I work hard when I graduate from high school, I would be the second person in my history of my family to graduate high school. I remember my goal was that I wanted to be assistant manager at that gas station. And my mom had other things in store for me. But through the process, I want to encourage you to be a fighter and to know that sometimes you might not think you're getting anywhere, but just don't let people put parameters on your children. And people tried to do that. So because I learned differently, they wanted to put me in vocational education. So I actually was put in vocational education, working on engines and working on houses. And I'd made my mind up I was going to be a Marine. I was just going to be in the Marine Corps because there was no way I could go to college or do anything. So my granddad used to tell me, hey, you just need to get a trade, and so you can get a job. And so in my mind, that was what my future was. But my mom was not having that. And my mom would go up there and she would wear them out. And I'm not saying I'm to do that to people at school, but she wasn't going to have it. And so I wind up obviously scoring a lot of touchdowns and doing some things in football. She got me back into the academic classroom, and obviously I got a football scholarship, and it changed my life. And but without my mom was the catalyst in the whole thing by speaking victory over me every day. Putting the word was my sword every day. And I know, I can't tell you, I wouldn't tell you all the things, all the issues and things that I had that almost ruined my life, that my mom prayed me through most of them. I went to college. This is one thing I wanted to tell you today, for certain to tell you this. I went to college, okay, after being the first person in my family to go to college. And back when I played college football in the early 80s, they coached you a little bit differently. And it was brutal. And so I went to college, and I was there 3 days, and I packed my stuff up in the middle of the night, and I left. And so the next morning, my mom woke up. Moms, listen to this. My mom woke up, and she said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Those people are mean. Those coaches are horrible to me." And and she said, "Oh no. You get out. You get out, or you get back to that school." And I tell you that because my mom also gave me tough love. Now I think to myself, I went on to be a 2-time All-American, played in the NFL. That helped me get started into coaching. I've been a head football coach in 5 different universities around the country, and have had an incredible life of impacting young people and making a difference in young people's lives. What if she would have just said, "Oh, baby, just come on home"? And so I encourage you to be a difference. My mom was a champion, and I want you to know that being a champion, it wasn't all just loving and hugs and kisses. It was, man, she instilled discipline in me, and structure, and toughness, and she understood. She taught me what it is to get back up off the ground. And you're going to get knocked down. Your kid's going to get knocked down. Life is tough and life's not fair. But my mom instilled in me really the 4 principles of my life. And faith, first and foremost, that produces character. That's number 1. And you know what? From that day forward, I couldn't lose. From that day forward, the victory was already won. Secondly, she always encouraged me and told me I was smart. She always encouraged. She said, "You are smart." She always reemphasized that. And because if you don't see yourself as smart, it's really difficult to have great self-esteem. And so my mom instilled that in me, faith that produces character. She instilled my self-esteem because she spoke victory over me, and she gave me the formula to do it. And she knew that it was through my heart and through my mind. Those are the two most important things. And then those characteristics produce discipline. Discipline is what it takes. Self-discipline is what it takes to be successful in life. And you don't have to. It doesn't matter how much money you make. That's not what makes you happy. It's not being an All-American or playing in the NFL or doing any of that stuff. None of that stuff's even on the page to what my mom taught me. The greatest thing you're going to do in your life is to be a son, is to be a brother, right? To be a father and to be a husband. And that's what my mom taught me. That's what my mom instilled in me, and that's why she's my champion. And I wanted to share that with you today to inspire you that character, smart, discipline, tough, that are the values. That's how a mom serves their children. And if at the end of the day, you know, what I really believe is that my mother, even today, I'm going to tell you, I told him when we were eating breakfast this morning, I call my mom almost every night. I'm going to be 53 years old on Tuesday. And because my mom is still my strength. And you know why? My connection to her is because of her faith. It's because of her faith in Jesus. That's why. So I wanted to share my champion with you today. I want to encourage, hopefully I said something that will encourage the moms, the single moms that are in this room. What an incredible and important and significant job that you have to inspire your young people, to inspire your kids. And I really mean this. Accepting this award for my mom today is the greatest award that I've ever received, because she is the one that has inspired me and helped me to accomplish the things that I've been able to accomplish. And you know, through life, you know, for my kids, you know, I've got 6 children, and I've got 5 of them that are college graduates. So, you know, we were able to change that legacy in our family. So, thank you so much for honoring her today. I know she wished she could be here, but for you moms out there, I want you to know that you're a champion, and to be strong and be courageous, and remember every day when you need strength, there's a place you can find it, and that's with Jesus Christ, and the Word is your sword. God bless you guys.